Hey Jeffrey, Coach Kyle here. So let's see, I'm just walking on my treadmill, doing some work. So let's see, you said I use the Solomon hydration pack for my longer runs, and that works well for me in terms of training. I am wondering how to approach simulating half marathon and then marathon. I imagine I imagine I will not be using a hydration pack during races as they have aid stations. I am usually just taking little sips whenever, without much thought or consistency. I do eat a little after running, about an hour, dates, Cliff Bar, etc. I've never tried gels. As my runs get longer, this may take more planning and consideration. Yes, so 10:4 on the Eugene Half Marathon. Got that. Thanks for letting me know. So typically, how I go about doing this and what I recommend is mainly long runs. Easy runs. It really doesn't matter. Have breakfast beforehand. Don't. Do it in the evening before dinner, or do it after dinner and be maybe a little kind of full, but it's fine for an easy run. I do it for my Tuesday, Thursday group runs. Sometimes I do them. Maybe I ate a little too much, but that's not. It's not good. It's fine. So with the workouts and the long runs, though, workouts are best to be done in kind of not a lot in the stomach. If you do them in the morning, have a banana and some coffee, or have a bagel or something, and then get home, go on with the day. If you do them in the evening, have a little something, banana, Cliff Bar beforehand, and then have dinner afterwards. But for the long runs, we can really, it's really important to, and we're talking, we're training for the Eugene Half Marathon, so it's not a huge deal right now, but this is a good FYI for the future as well, is that it's a good idea. You can train the gut to better handle fuel while running, and you're gonna run those long runs a little better thanks to having some fuel in you. And yeah, you can run 10, 15 miles easy without any, with just breakfast or without breakfast, and then just go do the run. But I think it will make the run a little more, it'll make the run a little better if you just take in something during the run. So typically I'm a big fan of maple syrup, and I have a flask about this big. It just fits right perfectly in the palm of my hand, and it holds 300 calories of maple syrup. So it's cheaper than gels per 100 calories. It's not using single-use plastic packages. It's cleaner. I mean, I'm not like fumbling with a gel packet and having to put it in my belt and everything. And what else? And then I like that it's just 300 calories right here, so it's easy to keep track of. And typically what I do is I might have that just in my palm, or I might have it in my belt. And typically I drink to thirst. So I might, for my marathon, for example, I had a small bottle, 8 ounces maybe, and I just sipped on that a little bit. I might have refilled it at one point during the run, but drinking to thirst is good. Having a bottle, I don't have one with me, having a bottle per hour is a nice suggestion, but typically if you're thirsty, take a sip or two. If you're not, don't force it. That's gonna do pretty well for most people for most runs. So drink to thirst, but I like to take calories in on a schedule. And during an easy long run, 100 calories an hour is fine. During a longer long run, or one that you're going to push it a little more, maybe up it to 200 calories per hour. And that's usually where I kind of like to sit for a marathon, is 200 calories an hour. So if you're using gels, it's a gel every half hour. You can start right beforehand, have a banana or have a gel right before you start the run, and then start 30 minutes in. For a half marathon, you might take one right before the start and then maybe one halfway. Half marathon, it's not that long. So you can take 2 during, you can take 1. It's probably not going to make or break anything, but I used to not take anything during half marathon. I've since changed my suggestion on that. But during a marathon, I like to take in a couple hundred calories per hour, and you can experiment with ways to do that. The nice thing about wearing a hydration pack is that you don't have to stop at aid stations. So that's something to consider. Sometimes, especially at larger marathons, the aid stations can be kind of traffic jammy. So it's nice to just run through them and not have to stop. And you do that, you skip a bunch of aid stations. It's potentially saving you a lot of time. So that's something to consider. I wouldn't use the pack for the half, but for your 10 to 15 mile long runs, for the marathon, for the eventual 15 to 20 mile long runs, the pack is going to be really nice. And maybe you end up getting a smaller pack for your marathon. I have one that I might use. Actually, let me go get it. So this is what I might use for my marathon this spring. And I'm not gonna, it just straps on. Obviously, you put it up here and just go. Not gonna do that. But straps on, and it has the two small little bottles here, and then this could fit, I could probably fit 4 gels in this front pocket. And the nice thing about this is that it's flat. See, look at that. Look at the profile. It's really flat, so it's not going to bounce around as much as having a single larger bottle. I've tried those, really don't like them. But this, I'm seriously considering using this for my marathon, because I've got the 2 bottles, and I don't know if I'll put them in the back or the front. I think I might want them up front. But once my long runs start to get longer, maybe Wednesday. I think I'm doing 16 on Wednesday. I might start testing these out, and so something to consider. Pretty minimal, and I'll link to this on Amazon in the description in the show notes. So yeah, I'm thinking this or something similar to this might be a nice option. So thoughts, questions, comments, let me know. Email me, drop them in the comments, and yeah. Good question. Talk to you later.